Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. 1480 K-Ray being brought to you by Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Great weekend to kick a few tires and then take home the Kia of your dreams. See my good friends AJ and Greg Miller and the entire Kia staff this weekend and check out what Kia has to offer over on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A, the corner windmill in Del Range. We know them for lunch, we know them for dinner, but now remember them from breakfast, for breakfast, 6 days a week, as you will find Chick-fil-A right at the corner of Windmill and Del Range across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, another place to go over the weekend and check out what's happening on the lot. On Highway 30, you will find over at Jolly Rogers Jayco products, the RVs and fifth wheels, and again, model year closeout, save up to 30% off over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Taco John's, home of loaded potato olays, along with 6-pack and a pound. That sounds like a great idea tonight, huh? You don't want to cook? Well, pick up a 6-pack and a pound from Taco John's of Cheyenne. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations for you to check out. The original location on Vanda High and the secondary location for you Eastsiders right there at the corner of College and Pershing, Platte Valley Bank. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Check out Gene, his great staff right there. Same location as always, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body times 2, the main repair center on Dunn Avenue. And, of course, the Auto Glass and Detail Center where they make sure it's Lennox clean over on Pershing Boulevard. The key people of Cheyenne, make sure you're getting a hold of Rachel to come on by, check out your facility. Then she'll send her cleaning people by. Rachel's number, 414-0074. The key people of Cheyenne. First Term Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Again, talk to Tim and the great staff there about their special CD rates. Open Monday through Friday, First Tier Bank. Across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Sweet D and the Greenway Commons. It's Mondello's Pizzeria. Delicious Paisan cuisine. 7 days a week, always freshly made. The dough, the bread, and again, all the ingredients are fresh for you at Mondello's Pizzeria.
Can you even get to that place? I drove by and there's just all sorts of construction. It seems like the city of Cheyenne
We'll find a way to get there. We'll find a way.
I'm just saying the city just tries to block you off to get fine pizza, but
you know, they don't care about small business. Yeah. You should know that. We also want to thank the Wyoming-Montana Safety Council, Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue, Linkaway Liquor. Grab a cold one on the way home. Pop it open when you get home at 20.
It is Friday, so yeah, you have to make sure. Do not drink that on the way home.
All right, Mr. Commentary.
I'm just saying.
Now, may I add back to your construction?
I feel like we need to be
back to your construction comment.
What?
They'll have it done by Frontier Days, like they have everything else done by Frontier Days.
Will they?
They always do. They seem to find a way to get it done.
Yeah, they can't fix the potholes out in our neighborhood and everything, but you know. We'll see. We'll see.
It's my tax dollars at work.
Yeah.
And our scoreboard this afternoon is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. What do you got?
Baseball action from yesterday with Cheyenne Post 6. They were in action doubleheader where game 1 they took on Grand Junction, got the 9-5 victory. Game 2 later that day, they took on Four Corners and got the 9-1 victory. So Cheyenne Post 6 right now 25-7 overall. They do have a game coming up later tonight at 7 o'clock. They will take on Burnett, Texas, down in Pueblo, Colorado. That will get underway at 7 o'clock. There's a lot of B's. It's an odd-looking name out of Texas, so that's what the Post 6 Sixers have coming up for tonight.
Right.
I'm just saying I'm going off of their schedule and what they gave to me. Cheyenne Mustangs, they will be in action this weekend. Only on Saturday they will have a doubleheader against Premier West. That game first, number 1, will be at 12 noon, and then game 2 will be scheduled tentatively for 2 o'clock. And also too on the softball side for Cheyenne Extreme Team Galicia, they will have a doubleheader as well on Saturday early in the morning, 8 a.m. Game 1 will take on the Aurora Twisters, and game 2 will take on the NC Explosion. Those games will be going on at Aurora, Colorado. So that's what's happening on the baseball/softball side locally.
Thank you, you wascally wabbit. Let's move on to Major League Baseball.
I don't see you reading any of that.
Because I'm going to read the Major League
Oh, you
Baseball
actually got the
score.
laptop to work today.
Yeah, I did. All by myself.
Good.
Marlins will take on the Orioles at Oriole Park at Camden Yards as we get off today. Rays will be at Yankee Stadium facing the Bronx Bombers. Also at 5:05, the Reds and the Bucks. They'll match up at PNC Park. Blue Jays in the Rogers Center hosting the Nats. It will be the Twins and the Indians at Progressive Field. Padres and the Bravos at Cumberland, Georgia at 5:35. Rockies will move on to face the Rangers in interleague play at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Chad Bettis will toe the rubber for the Rockies for this evening. He's 4-1 with a 4.40 ERA. Motor City Kitties of Detroit will be in Chicago to take on the White Sox. It will be the Phils and the Brewers at Miller Park. Astros and the Royals at Kauffman Stadium at Busch. The Cubs and the Cardinals renewing an old rivalry. They'll get together at 6:15 this evening. Late games in the Oco. The Athletics and the Angels tonight as they'll match up. The Mets and the Diamondbacks at Chase. Red Sox and the M's at Safeco. Giants and Dodgers tonight at Dodger Stadium, and that'll get underway around 8:10. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
This is R.J. Fox. 1480 K-Ray is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Join me as you'll hear all the play-by-play of Cheyenne East, Cheyenne Central, and Cheyenne South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason as well. During the basketball season, 1480 K-Ray will be featuring both boys and girls games. So catch all the calls on AM 1480 K-Ray. Also streaming the games online at 1480kray.com.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 84 and winds out of the north at 10 to 15. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a slight chance of a thunderstorm with lows around 53. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 79. And on Saturday night, it'll continue to be cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 51.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, Friday afternoon. Larry Perotti, Nick Perotti, and our first guest, as he will be beginning his third year as the head coach at LCCC, not his first rodeo, so to speak, at Laramie County Community College. We welcome back Brian Ortmeyer, who hasn't been with us for a while because he's been on the recruiting trail. So, Coach, first off, let's talk about how the recruiting has gone for you this late spring.
Sure. No, it's thanks for having me on the show, guys. It's good to be back. So, it's been good so far. It's it's always kind of a transition. You're looking at 2019 at the same time, but we've had a good month. The month of kind of just that second half of May, early part of June has been really good for us. So we were able to lock up 5 girls over the last kind of month and a half, 2 months. 4 of those have come in the past month, but it's been good. We've had a lot of girls, too, on campus to visit. We're looking to possibly sign 1 or 2 more yet. And then we're going to shut it down and start moving toward 2019. So it's interesting. You've got Division I's looking at kids that are 2022 to 2024, and we're still kind of looking at 2018. But it's been good. We're right at the end of the process, and it's went really well.
And we know again with Brian Ortmeyer with LCCC, we do know one local product, Mackenzie Fagetbush from Cheyenne East, where she committed quite some time ago. But for you, Coach, it looks like you've spent quite some time in the Texas area around the big city of Dallas. Is there some favoritism down there? What's going on?
Well, let me interrupt here too.
Sure.
Was as you were talking about how you signed him here over the last month. So again, were a lot of these commitments waiting until school was out, or were they also being looked at by other programs? Why so late in the decision?
It's some of both. Some of them are kind of waiting to see how their grades shake out in terms of qualifying and non-qualifying. So, Texas, a lot of those kids didn't graduate until about a week ago. So some of it had to do with just having free time to be able to make the trip up to Cheyenne to check out campus. Some of it had to do with the grades, just waiting to see how that shook out. But, just in the past, working in Kansas for 3 years, we were able to kind of dip down into that Metroplex area, Dallas, Fort Worth, the suburbs. I mean, there's so much basketball down there. If you guys have ever been down to the field house in Texas, if I remember correctly, they have 32 indoor courts. They'll have 16 games going at once. It's almost impossible if you go to one of those events by yourself to catch everybody. So I think, again, if you look close enough, you're going to find some of those diamonds in the rough too. It's interesting. One girl we'll talk about, Robbie Johnson, today. I felt got overlooked. She had some Division II offers. Decided she wanted to give it the 2-year route just to kind of see if she can hopefully 2 years from now get some Division I interest. And she had the task of guarding a girl from Texas A&M this year. So that's kind of the experience that I like. It's kind of the same route we went with our 2 girls from Las Vegas a year ago. Didn't have a lot of playing time at their school, but they sat behind bona fide Division I players, so they didn't have that opportunity. So some of it's just kind of finding the right kids and having those ties down in Texas. I wanted to get back to some of that familiar recruiting ground. So, again, that was kind of one of my focus areas this year.
Aside from our local product, Mackenzie Fagenbush, and you have the kids from Texas, and what the girls saw last year, except for your sophomores, they kind of knew the drill, is more basketball. And the season extends, especially when you get to the next level. Are these young ladies that you are bringing in from Texas, are they into that extended type of basketball season so that they know what to expect when they come here? Because, like you said, there's a lot of hoops that are played down in the Lone Star State.
Well, and down there, it's year-round. I mean, they're at the field house, and if they're not at the field house in Frisco, Texas. I mean, it's San Antonio one weekend, it's Austin, it's all over. So they have that experience of playing basketball year round. I think that'll make a big difference too, and it won't be as big of a shock once you start hitting that late January, early February.
Go figure, down in Texas, they take sports seriously. I'm very surprised on that. But other than Mackenzie and Robbie Johnson, but talk about it as we haven't had the opportunity yet, as you are at least. Thank you for passing along the list of your recent signees, but just talk a little bit about other signees that we will expect at LCCC this season.
Sure. We mentioned Kenzie right off the top. We've talked about her a couple times. Local product, comes from a great program over at East. Tough as nails. I like her toughness. Comes back early during volleyball season from an injury to compete late in the season, state tournament. There's some things that we're going to work on defensively with her, but she can, obviously she can shoot from anywhere. She's got that ability to hit 6-7 threes in a game, and can kind of be that game changer at times for us. So,
and she could also be that, again, games that we've seen with her with Cheyenne East, she can be that vocal leader on that court as well too. She has been very vocal with the East High Lady Thunderbirds. I feel like once you kind of get her into at least a working piece in COG with LCCC, she could be that valuable player.
Well, also, too, to interrupt as well, she's also been part of the Wyoming team, the seniors team that has been playing the Montana All-Stars. Obviously, they did not perform well, but has she been on campus with you, and you've had a chance to see what she can do on the court there at LCCC?
Well, she's not signed up for any classes, so we can't.
I was kind of curious about that. Yeah.
So for us, it's hands off in the summer, but I know she's been steady in the gym. She's been getting shots up. So, but yeah, to just even that experience there too, getting to play with some of the best players in the state of Wyoming, and then again going against those kids from Montana. That's a invaluable experience, getting to see what that's going to look like. So, obviously we're excited to have Kenzie in the program. Robbie Johnson, another girl we mentioned. When we last talked up on campus, just speed. I mean, she's, again, another tough player, not afraid to stand in there, take a charge, and great shooter from outside. That's kind of the one thing they had her doing this year. They had a Division I point guard in their program, so they were able to take Robbie from the point guard position, kind of slide her over to a two guard. But she's not afraid to lock down a Division I guard, like I had mentioned, going to Texas A&M. And so she has that experience playing against great competition too. So if I remember correctly, the team that knocked them out, Mansfield Timberview out of Texas, was the team that finished second in the biggest classification down there. So and it was a close game. So it's, again, she's been thrown into the fire. She's got that experience against good competition.
And for Robbie, we saw highlight film, at least us together. Yep. The major theme with Robbie was kind of like a Carly O'Brien is. She's not afraid to get in there, especially on the defensive side, put the body in use, and she's not afraid to take a blow on the court. So again, a major at least player to come with the LCCC, something to be very excited for next season.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, going down the list, I think that I gave you guys. I'll go to Ariel Stevenson next, from Naaman Forest High School out of Dallas, Texas. Again, a little small for to play the small forward position, about 5'6", 5'7", but just very, very scrappy player. Again, with her size, leading her team, they had a 6-foot post player. They had some guards 5'9", 5'10", and to lead them in rebounding 2 years in a row. Her junior year, she came off the bench and was able to accomplish that. So she's one of those players too. Just kind of finds herself right position, knows how to read the ball coming off the rim, but it just very scrappy on the defensive side of things. So for her, it's going to. The big thing for her is going to be developing the offensive side, just being a little more aggressive with the ball in her hands. We also, one of the last girls we've signed kind of from that Dallas area, coming from Mesquite High School, is Jakia Wells. Very excited about her. She's going to kind of fit a position that we were really hurting at last year, which was power forward. Very long player, great motor, runs the floor really well, can shoot inside, outside. And again, she's one of those girls that can catch it on the 3-line, 1, maybe 2 dribbles, and she's at the rim. So, again, I felt very, very overlooked coming out of her high school. And, again, she comes from one of the probably one of the strongest districts of basketball down there in that Dallas area. And made the first team all-district this year. So, again, a lot of respect coming from those high school coaches down there, and we're excited to have her. So that kind of rounds out some of those Texas kids, kind of some of the kids more local. We have Alexis Lamoureux coming from Eaton High School, just down the road south of us. Again, close, kind of understands this area. A little smaller classification down in Colorado, but Alexis is just a great athlete. Probably a little undersized to play the post, but she's got great length, probably about 6 foot, 6'1" wingspan. Gets a lot of deflections. Her high school team pressed, played more up tempo. So again, one of the things I really liked about her is she can play that backside and just kind of sneak up quick and get that steal. But great with timing, jumping. Obviously, her high school team won the state volleyball championship for their classification. Offensively has some things that we're going to have to work on, but defensively, athleticism-wise, again, just very talented from that standpoint.
Size-wise, and if I remember, Kylie is, 6'1"?
Yeah, right around 6'1".
Yeah, so she would be your true legitimate post. Of course, she could stand to gain a couple pounds on her, or upper body mass, I guess.
Little bulk.
Yeah, you know. And then Courtney is about 5'10". So right now you're lacking a little bit in that middle part where you went up against young ladies that were 6'2", 6'3".
Yes.
Some were the Europeans that were picked up last year. But looking on
where this team lacks in size, though, it
makes up in speed. That's what I was driving. So I mean, realistically, you could play a little bit like Jason Picca this year. You could put about 3-4 guards out there and one big forward, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and see, we're hoping to extend pressure too. That's again, if you're lacking that 6'2", 6'3" monster inside, you're going to have to find ways to not find yourself having to play defense for 25 seconds in the half court. So, whether that's trapping more, extending more pressure, playing more denial defense, one pass away, we're going to have to look at some of those things, and even mixing in some zone more this year. Again, if we can be longer at the other four positions, being 5'8" to 5'10", if you're going to have a 6-foot post, you can get away with it. You can hide it better. So
you lost Sarah Kathop, and again, you lost some sophomores. Obviously, they're going to move on to the next level, hopefully, and then you have attrition that happens. But tell us a little bit, because we haven't really talked to you much with Sarah signing on with another school. A loss to the program.
Yeah, no doubt, and just kind of an all-around player defensively. Really found her offense last year, too. I know coming out of high school, she was right around 2 points per game with Centennial High School, but just fearless with the basketball. She wasn't afraid to cross somebody over, take it hard to the basket.
Her and Carly were kind of built out of that. Carly O'Brien built out of that same mold.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, too. When you do lose a good player like that, you try to find somebody comparable that can fill in and do just as well. And I had actually missed one girl on the list. It was a good segue into the last one, but Haley Anderson, a very very comparable player. She was 6A All-State out of Utah, good three-point shooter, and then also she's got the ability to drive to the basket, get to the free throw line. So, but yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's one of those things. We're excited for her in her opportunity now to play 3 years at a 4-year school instead of having to make that transition with only 2 left. So, but it's I think for us, we've done a good enough job on the recruiting trail. That we can kind of fill in that production with some of our incoming freshmen.
So let's see, not a whole lot of size on this team, very good speed, and team that also too can shoot from beyond the arc. I mean, are we taking up the Steve Kerr style of coaching? Are we bringing the Golden State Warriors to LCCC, Coach? I mean, what's going on here?
If we can look that way, I would be very happy with that, considering they've won 3 out of the last 4 NBA championships. But it's again, if you're going to be lacking that size inside, you're going to have to make up for it somewhere else. And I like the speed we had last year. I thought we could be faster. I thought we at times, because we did miss some speed at certain spots on the perimeter, or when we'd go to that second rotation, we had to sit back, play more pack line defense, and just basically got attacked from every angle. So being able to now to hopefully extend that pressure, force some turnovers, it should hopefully play out to our advantage.
Brian Ortmeyer, Lady Golden Eagles head coach from LCCC, joining us here this afternoon on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We'll continue with more of our conversation. Let's take a timeout. We'll let him catch his breath. We'll be back with more after these words right here on 1480 KRA.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRA, and you can stream live with us at 1480kra.com.
John Mason here for Lincoln Way Liquor. I want to thank Cheyenne for helping us grow during our first year of business. We have over 5,000 new customers in our database in just 13 months. Our customers love our low prices, free ice, 2% credit for future purchases, and some really friendly service. And we always have 16 weekly specials on beer, wine, and liquor. We ask you to compare Lincoln Way Liquor, 2825 East Lincoln Way. We're not the largest, but we might just be the best.
The time is now, and the place to go is Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service for their annual model clearance sale of Jayco RVs and fifth wheels. This is your year to travel the countryside, and what better way with your Jayco RV from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And to put you on the road today, save 30% on their annual model clearance. Their savings are always the best on whatever model you select. Come see and take home your favorite today when you buy from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service at 6102 East Highway 30 in Cheyenne, or go online to jollyrogersrvs.com.
Are you thinking about purchasing a home? Then Platte Valley Bank can help. With Platte Valley Bank, you can count on local decisions and expect to work with an experienced staff to design a loan to fit your needs. Just log on to pvbank.com and fill out our online application. We have money to lend, and at Platte Valley Bank, we are in the business of fulfilling dreams, enriching lives, and building our community one loan at a time.
All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Brian Ortmeyer is our special guest on Wyoming Sports Talk today. LCCC Lady Golden Eagles head coach. You know, with the look that you have, and again, team looks great on paper until we get them on the court. And then again, you'll get back Carly O'Brien, Courtney Walker, Gabby O'Connor. We'll get to see her finally play. And again, I watched her a lot with the shoot-arounds once she was able to take the boot off. And again, a natural shooter. The thing that I saw last year, and I know we were talking about it briefly here in our discussion this afternoon, I know you don't want to live and die by the three, but you have to feel a lot more confident with your recruits and your group that's coming back that you're not too afraid to pop it from the outside.
Yeah. We got very one-dimensional by the end of the season, is the way I would put it. Our inside game disappeared at times against some of those 6'2", 6'3" defenders. And then if we weren't getting by people off the top, they were playing our outsides tight. So it was tougher for us to get shots up. I mean, you could see our scoring average probably went down a good 5 to 8 points the second time around playing everybody.
Well, I think at the tail end where you mentioned with us either on this show or post game where it kind of felt like to you your team was also just afraid to put up shots. So whether it was missing, they were just kind of afraid to. They needed that perfect look before they were at least shooting that ball, and it felt like at least the last few games there, you could really see that on your team they were just kind of afraid,
like a horse out of the gate. I mean, you guys came out of the gate strong, and then all of a sudden, just you got to the halfway point, and then it was your team on a milk carton.
Yeah, we'd start missing some shots, and then we, like you said, we clam up from the 3-point line, but. I think, again, it's with this class, we have enough outside shooting now to kind of supplement that. We're bringing in some, some of the surrounding state's best 3-point shooters. Haley Anderson, again, probably one of the best 3-point shooters in the state of Utah, 1,000-point scorer for her career. You've got Mackenzie from here out of Cheyenne East, one of the best 3-point shooters in the state. And then, again, Robbie Johnson also rated as one of the top 3-point shooters for at least in the Dallas Metroplex area. So I don't want to say the state of Texas. I mean, there's tons of kids down there. But if you look at just the Metroplex, by far one of the better 3-point shooters. And so, again, it's going to add to what we already had. Again, getting Gabby back. That's a player we already had in the program that we just didn't get to see last year. And she came in as one of those kids I was relying on to be that inside, to be able to get to the basket off the drive, but also play off the ball and catch and shoot.
Now, does she still have 4 years remaining?
Yes.
So she was given a red shirt year.
Yep. So she was given a red shirt year. So it just gives us some more options. And those options, the nice thing is they can also drive to the basket. It's not they have to sit, catch, and shoot. They're one-dimensional. They can also drive it hard to the basket.
Well,
so
and that was part of my next question here because, again, as he moved on to Zaire Mateen.
Yeah.
And what I liked last year, especially watching the guys, again, great outside shooting all around the perimeter. Yeah. But, again, an explosive kid like Zaire, not afraid to take it to the hole. Again, we haven't seen any of your young ladies as far as seeing the jets coming out of the back of their shoes, but I would think that's going to open up a lot of drives and layup to the bucket.
Mm-hmm. And that was kind of one of the things that, again, was a focus, was to get better those two-way players that could shoot from outside, but also they're good enough that you close out hard, shot fake, they're gonna get to the rim quick. And again, with those girls I mentioned, most of them can handle that. And if we're able to finish this recruiting class the way that I'm hoping, we're still looking to add one more player like that. She's about 5'9", 5'10", and then also another 6', 6'1" post. So that kind of, again, it gives us a little more depth inside, and that 6'1" post can also shoot it from outside too. So it's just, again, very multi-dimensional type players.
I'm just, with everything he's been saying, again, the 3-point class that he's bringing in, for you need to get at least ready to be calling them the Splash Sisters out there of LCCC.
I'm on top of that.
I'm just saying. I want to ask you very, very quickly, though, Coach, as we have the recent announcement that LCCC, at least on the basketball side, is moving to Region 9 North now, so you're taking on teams across the state of Wyoming. Your thoughts on just kind of sizing up the North of so far? Again, we know what Casper's bringing to the table, what we saw last year, but just kind of size up the North right now of what to expect this upcoming season.
I'm going to have to write that down, though. I like that with the Splash Sisters. I think the girls will get a kick out of that. But, I think based on the two teams, if you look at us and you look at Eastern moving to the North, Eastern's had a good 2-year run here where they finished in the top half. I think what you're going to see now with the 8 teams in the North, the 6 in the South, is I really believe the better half is the North. I mean, it's a very, very strong. When you've got Casper, top 25 team, I really believe Gillette and Sheridan will bounce back this year. They kind of finished middle of the pack, right around 500 last year. Had some injuries to both of those squads.
Riverton and Powell more would be a bounce back. Riverton a little behind the curve, though.
I think, just based on coaching change up there in Powell, you're graduating, essentially almost 90-95% of your scoring. They moved on. I think it was 8 or 9 seniors or sophomores that graduated. They're going to have a different look next year. Riverton be about the same team. Western Wyoming, was the bottom last year, and again, I really haven't seen much in terms of what they've signed. But so I think again the strong side of this side of the state between Eastern, us, Sheridan, Gillette, Casper, it's going to be a dogfight to finish in that top
Well,
half.
and you don't take anybody for granted because,
exactly.
again, EWC as well as Casper, they probably will be the 1-2 teams to look at above you and shoot for that level. Again, you can't dismiss Sheridan or Gillette. But going back to what you said earlier with this group of young ladies that are coming in, with the veterans that are going to be back, and we had talked earlier, one of the things that was a little frustrating to you last year was pressure defense. You had a couple of good kids that have radar, and they knew where the ball was going to be at. They had good instinctive intuitiveness to go after the basketball. But with these young ladies right now, that speed, it looks like you're going to be able to clamp on more pressure, and again, in tight situations especially.
Yeah, and it's like you said, those tight situations where you're coming down the wire, whether you're up a couple possessions, you're down a couple, you need some steals, some deflections. I'll feel a lot more comfortable going into this season knowing that we can get that trap, we can get that quick steal. It just gives us some more options in terms of what we can do defensively. But, again, going back to the region, if you had taken the changes into account, I think, if I remember correctly, we would have been third in the North region last year based on moving the Montana schools out and moving us up there. So again, it'll be fun. It'll be good to see us now getting some of those Wyoming rivalries where we have to play each other twice a year, to get them to come down to Cheyenne, and also us getting to go on the road. It's just fun to renew some of those things yearly.
And for you, for the at least kind of non-conference schedule, how does that alter, if anything at all? Is it just more so of, hey, South teams that we've seen last year, now we'll just take you on, and non-conference, or altering of maybe, like for the men's side, they went up to the College of Southern Idaho tournament up there. What are we looking at kind of non-conference of for at least the women's side?
A lot of it is flipped, like you said. We're going to play a lot of the South schools next year. When we were kind of in that limbo, not knowing if we were North or South, we were starting to look for some of those, your Air Force Prep Academies, your Northwest Kansas Tech, some of those types of schools to fill in too. So it's a good mix of some of the South schools. I would say our non-conference is going to be about 80 to 90% of those types. And then again, we've kind of got some of those filler games too with some of those schools that are out of region to go and play.
This being your third season for women's basketball back at LCCC, are you comfortable right now with the way, again, you're able to bring in the kids that you want to bring in? It's not out of necessity, and again, I'm not dismissing any of the young ladies yet. I thought they were pretty good basketball players, but I'm just saying, now you get that opportunity to fully recruit your teams, what you're looking for. Do you feel a little more comfortable at the helm?
I think that's a good way to put it, is once you get to the start of year 3, we've had 2 full seasons to go out, evaluate the talent, and have 2 full years to actually go recruit them through the full process. Where coming into that first year, it was a kind of a mad rush for the first 2.5 months. That team played hard, but again, there's a big difference when you get that full season to really kind of set the style of play that you want, recruit to it, and find missing pieces for that third season. So I think again, you still want to go into every season with high expectations, knowing that if you found the right pieces, you can have a good year. So again, it's exciting in that regard, knowing now that we've had the 2 full seasons to go at year 3, knowing that feeling that the right pieces are in place now to fit the system of a lot of the things we want to run, basically.
Well, let me finish on that question there. I don't mean to interrupt, Nick. But again, I look at the situation at EWC where Coach there revived that program, and he's been there ever since. And here's a situation where you're reviving the ladies program. Again, do you feel that respect coming back to the basketball program at LCCC? Again, and again, just by playing is one thing, but teams are a little nervous coming to Cheyenne and taking on your ladies, and they know when they're going to play on the road, they're going to be in for a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, I think again by year 3, you want to start to set that tone more or less, and I think across the board we're starting to see that more and more. We still have a lot that we have to prove. I mean, I don't want it to sound bad. I don't think you're going to scare a lot of your top teams with a 500 record. But I like the steps that we're making to go from an 11-win team to a 15-win team, And now what I want to see out of this group next year is to take that next step. So finishing in the top half of the conference, pushing the teams that are at the top, and your Caspers and Western Nebraskas, and being able to get back into that conversation of finishing as a 1 seed or a 2 seed. So our girls, that's what they should want. They should want that expectation as well. But from a coaching standpoint, I think again you've always feel like you've got more to give, more to prove, and we'll see if we can get it done this year.
And here in year 3, at least over at LCCC for you, Coach, talk about at least one assistant coach who is now head coach of the Wyoming Beast program. That would be Markel Dent. What is kind of the relationship with her, at least where, again, she does at least head coach, and she's pretty familiar with at least the local talent with the Wyoming Beast. But is that something where you can kind of turn to her of saying, hey, I'm kind of interested in this local product or throughout the state of Wyoming, or, maybe scout out when they are in Phoenix, Chicago, Denver, wherever. Is that something where you can kind of go to Markel and go, hey, I need your help. What do you know about this player?
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, it's exciting to see what they're doing with that program, and then also to go back 2 years ago with Glenn and see what he's doing now at Central. So it's always fun to see what people you've worked with, to see how they're progressing and how their programs are growing. So, but yeah, I think again you're always going to tap into those connections wherever they're at, and that's where that's been really beneficial for us with Texas. Having good relationships with some of the coaches, being able to go into East High School, as recent as this last year. So again, it's something that we're always going to keep an eye on that local talent with our connections.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for coming on in. We
thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it, and again, keeping us updated. And like you said, you're maybe 1-2 kids away from wrapping this up. Would you have an idea roughly when that possibly could happen?
I would say 2 weeks. So we still have to lock in one official visit for one of our recruits, and I would guess within about the next 2 weeks we'll know for sure.
And also, too, want to ask very quickly, as we have asked other coaches as well, too, any camps or anything coming up for LCCC women's basketball that folks may need to know about, or where we kind of standing before season starts?
Well, for us, it's been tricky logistically with our gym, the way the facility sets up to run some of these bigger camps, specifically team camps, to be able to run multiple games at the same time. And the NPR, with volleyball, you're able to set those nets up across where we only have the 2 portable baskets down there. So it makes it a little tricky to run some of those camps. Hopefully maybe in the fall we'll be looking at running some youth camps. And if not, then for sure, hopefully next summer we'll get something up and running again.
I'm glad you mentioned camps, and that reminds me, NBA championship, did that surprise you this year that it was Golden State Cleveland?
No. I think at the same time, at least we got some Game 7s. It wasn't 2 sweeps in the semifinals and boring basketball throughout. So, I wasn't crazy about the matchup. I wanted to see at least one new team get in there, whether it was Boston or Houston. But I thought it was chippy, which made it kind of fun to watch. It was kind of a different element. I felt like the last 3 years it was.
You got Chippy here in the studio where I was wearing Warriors stuff. We had Markel in. She's wearing her Cavs. It was like, oh, boy, you need to get out of here.
Yeah, but it was a good series. I thought it overall finished pretty well. I got over quick. It was a quick sweep. But hopefully next year maybe we're looking at a Boston-Houston final, maybe something a little different.
Dream on.
Do you keep up with the WNBA, too? I mean, is there anything that you might be able to pick up out of coaching? Again, there's nothing wrong with scouting everybody, That's what I was just curious.
I think you can always pick something up. The only difference is it's just a different game. You look at the college level, you get to your UConns, your top 4 or 5 teams, and I mean there's just such a wide gap, just a huge disparity. But you go WNBA, you're not going to see pressing. You're probably not. You're going to see more of a half-court game. If I remember correctly, I think they have a different shot clock too. So you can pick things up, but for us, it's more beneficial to watch the college game just because more of the game's going to translate to what we want to do.
Just have Gino just send you film of every game.
That'd be perfect.
I'm going to take your pulse on one last pro question here. Again, kind of tongue-in-cheek here, but the LeBron sweepstakes. Who do you think who's going to win LeBron? Are we going L.A., New York? Is he staying in Cleveland? There has been Denver rumors as well, too, for the King. But what do you think?
He may go to Dallas. There's a basketball mecca down there.
He should. He really should. I did see the Denver, too. Earl Boykins trying to
we'll
get
talk
in
about
on
that one.
So, it was funny. We had just yesterday up at the school, Coach Salisbury, and there were a couple students there, student workers, and we had the LeBron-Michael Jordan debate. And I walked up the hall, they asked me, and I immediately said Michael Jordan. I don't think there's any question. I just felt they're two different players. I mean, there's no question. They do different things. But what I remember about Michael Jordan is it didn't matter if the game was tied 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute to go. He was going to finish that thing, and they were going to win. And I never felt like there was ever a chance they were going to lose, specifically his second run when they won that last 3 in a row. So that I felt was the difference, is you knew he was going to just take over. He was going to make every play, make every shot, and you couldn't stop him. So moving on beyond that, one comment that did get made is somebody asked where should he go, and I said where he needs to go, and this is the best thing that I've heard, is he needs to go somewhere where he just plays. Just play, leave the front office stuff to somebody else. If you look at them right now, he wanted J.R. Smith to come back. He pushed for that big contract for him. They made the mistake with Tristan Thompson. He pushed for that. He also, when he signed with Cleveland the second time, didn't even mention Andrew Wiggins. So that was a done deal that Kevin Love was coming in. It could have been Kyrie, Wiggins, and LeBron right now. And that thing got shot down. When he was with Miami, he had his buddies, his star friends around him, but it was Pat Riley running the show. So personally, I feel like he should go to San Antonio. Let Pop run the show. Let their front office do their thing. Let them put talent around you. Go win. Obviously, L.A. sets up well, too, I think, if that works out with Kawhi Leonard going to L.A. I mean, it's been a crazy day with him saying he wants
all kinds of rumors
out of
going
San Antonio.
on, yeah.
So, personally, I think if front office-wise, he should go to San Antonio or back to Miami. Go back with Pat Riley.
And just play basketball.
Yeah, play basketball. Let them do their other stuff. 2 of his 3 championships have come with a good front office.
The one thing I see with him, and again, I know we're keeping you longer,
the
one thing I see with LeBron as opposed to Kobe, and again, they both came out of right into the NBA out of high school. I see LeBron's career, however, probably going a little longer than Kobe's, just simply for the fact that he has been able to pace himself, I guess that would be the word, through the regular season, and then take it up that extra 2-3 notches during the playoffs.
Yeah, and he's a machine. It's amazing. He has never had an injury where he's had to sit out half a season or the entire season at this point. And outside of his hand, whether it was broken or not broken or whatever that was this year, he's just stayed healthy. You saw Kobe at the end of his career, the Achilles goes out. Michael takes time off to go play baseball. It's just LeBron has stayed true to what he does. He takes care of himself. And, I mean, if he wants to play until he's 40, I could see him still 40, maybe to 42. I mean, it's just he takes such good care of himself. It's amazing.
We already have our NHL insider of Coach Breen with the Cheyenne Stampede. I think we found our NBA insider right here.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach, you want to wish you happy Father's Day, too, and looking forward to working with you again this upcoming season. I understand that we'll be back.
Awesome.
So, again, we'll be back calling LCCC basketball, me along with So, again, we're looking forward to that. When are you going to officially start getting the kids on campus to start working out?
Not till August. I wish it was sooner. It gets a little, you hit July. At the same time, it's nice to kind of step back in July, take a little time off. But, we'll get them back in August, right at the end of August. I think it's August 25th is when they move back.
All right, Brian Ortmeyer, head coach at the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles. Join us on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Take a time out. We're back with more after these words.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken. Summer's coming, so now's the time to find ways to beat the heat, and Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Okay, good day in the weight room, boys. Remember, we lift weights for strength. For cardio, we lift weights faster. Wachowski, quit looking at your stomach, son. What you're looking for ain't there. If you want a six-pack, the easiest way to get one is at Taco John's.
Stop in for a six-pack and a pound at Taco John's. Get 6 crispy beef tacos and a pound of potato olays, all for $10.99.
Let's Olay the Day and go get one right now. Last one there has to pick up Mrs. Coach from jiu-jitsu class.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 84 and winds out of the north at 10 to 15. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a slight chance of a thunderstorm with lows around 53. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 79. And on Saturday night, it'll continue to be cloudy with the rain showers likely with lows around 51.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Thank you again to Brian Ortmeyer. And again, you're absolutely right. He's very knowledgeable on the basketball side for the NBA. He could be our official insider. But there's a lot of things going on.
I've offered to him. So.
I know. There's a lot of things going on with the NBA. First, before we get back into the LeBron James situation, and again, the Denver Nuggets are in that conversation. But looking at the Kawhi Leonard situation, first and foremost, I ask you the dumb question. Well,
I want to, before you ask me the question, do want to say that we did get a phone call earlier from someone who wanted to discuss that with us. So, again, 514-1071, area code 307. 514-1071. Again, if you want to get on any discussion, including the Kawhi one, as this gentleman, I do believe from Houston, Texas, said he wanted to talk to us about it. So,
and here's the deal, too. Now, the latest rumor is that Kawhi wants out of San Antonio, and
which
he's eyeing L.A.
He's tossed up L.A. and the Knicks.
I understand that, but L.A. is like, they're still about 4 or 5 seasons away from. They'll be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to be a serious contender.
I feel like it was a team that had chances when it kept Larry Nance Jr. and, again, a few other faces down there, but Lonzo, I mean, he's okay, but again, is it that superstar? Where again, as LeVar thought he was going to be the Rookie of the Year.
No.
Sorry, he was nowhere near that. But it's a situation. If Kawhi does go out to LA, it does elevate that team. Sorry, you do play in the Pacific, where the Warriors are pretty much that dominant threat at this point. But Kawhi, the main issue with him is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be? And again, what I kind of draw parallels with Kawhi is he's kind of like Derrick Rose. He had this potential, this greatness, and he still does. No offense to Kawhi Leonard, he still certainly does. But he's highly touted, but he just can't get over the injury bug for
here's the deal too with Kawhi. It's not like he can just leave the Spurs. He's got to be traded.
He's got to be traded, yeah.
And again, if first off,
and I think
if
the
he
Spurs,
decides to stay with the Spurs, here's the deal. If I look at
I
it
don't
right,
think he will. And again, this is kind of a similar situation with Fareed down at Denver, where again, it's a cancer in your locker room. Don't want this negative effect, especially under Popovich. He's going to go, yes, we want him out. Get rid of him. I don't want this.
Yeah, Greg won't mess.
He's not going to take with it.
But here is Leonard is eligible to receive a 5-year, $219 million contract extension from the Spurs this summer. Now he can opt out of his current deal after next season and become a free agent in July of 2019. So here's what I'm hearing. First off, in trade talks, I understand that Boston is very interested in talking to the Spurs about Leonard, but he doesn't have them on his radar.
Again, the two teams he tossed out, but who knows? Again, he just mentioned that L.A., the Lakers, and the Knicks. So, again, L.A. or the Knicks is kind of the landing spots, or at least anticipating for LeBron at this point, as much as every team is going to try for the sweepstakes. But right now, are those teams going to be willing to put up pieces? Is it something where you're going to see Isaiah Thomas move from the Lakers as much as he's kind of been, knowing he's that journeyman NBA player? Does he join the Spurs? Or, again, you certainly do have youth with L.A., and that could be something that the Spurs kind of get very interested in as an aging team.
Yeah,
with
Tony
Gasol,
Parker,
Gasol.
and Ginobili.
Yeah, again, where their time is pretty much getting very close to coming to the end, and maybe that does intrigue the Spurs organization of going, well, they got young talent. But do the Lakers, again, be interested to see what the San Antonio Spurs would like for Kawhi? Because, again, is it something where, hey, you got Lonzo there. Right. He's only in his second year. Bring him on over. You got Isaiah Thomas. Absolutely. You got Kuzma. Bring him on over. We'll give you Kawhi for that.
But, again, then you kind of defeat the purpose what the Lakers were trying to do. Build from youth for the future.
But is it a situation where the Lakers pick up Kawhi and then go, hey, LeBron,
we
got
a
this
1-for-5 trade is not going to do
No,
it.
I get that, but it's a situation where the Lakers kind of exhaust all options and go, well, we want to win now. We don't want to wait 5 years. We want to be back on top, compete with the Warriors in this specific division, and go, hey, we're still we are a threat right now. Is that a situation where they go, I think we need to sacrifice these players, bring in Kawhi, and go, hey, LeBron, we got him and a few other players that can build around you. Come on out to LA.
And you're gonna have two players at $80 million annually.
Yeah,
you're going to be pushing that salary cap with just your starting five pretty quick there in Los Angeles.
Maybe they'll work things around. Again, LeBron, I think, is a player that could do a situation of in Golden State of going, I'll
I
take
agree
that
on
cut.
that. But the thing is, if you're looking at a trade situation. And you're absolutely right on the Spurs right now where they are aging. And again, it's too bad.
I mean, they've been aging forever.
I know, I understand. It's too bad because, again, these are good cats. I mean, Parker is a good guard. Ginobili also had a great run in San Antonio. And these guys still can play basketball along with Gasol. But the thing is, you're going to need 3-4 players alone just from the Lakers to fill in those pieces. And again, you've got a Kawhi Leonard that's gone. You're going to be drafting in the middle part of the NBA draft, so you're going to have to look big as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, gosh, I don't know. I would think more, if anything, that the Spurs would probably go after Boston to go after more veteran talent than younger talent.
We'll certainly see. Again, what the Spurs will do. Do they kind of calm down the Kawhi situation and go, hey, stick it out with us? As Coach Ortmeyer was discussing, the best move for LeBron is to go down to San Antonio. Hey, Kawhi, calm down. We're working on LeBron. We'll get you here, and then we'll get you that talent that you're looking for.
And it makes sense. They have the money. There's no doubt about it. They have the money down there. It all depends, too. We haven't heard yet. Is Ginobili calling it a career? Is Tony Parker calling? No one's saying anything down there yet. They're very quiet with what's happening in San Antonio. We are going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get things underway with hour number 2 right here on Wyoming Sports Talk today for a Friday afternoon. We're back after these words.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And welcome to hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by Lincoln Way Liquor at 2825 East Lincoln Way. Grab a cool one for the ride home tonight and then pop it open when you get home and maybe watch some Rockies baseball later on. Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Again, they will take care of checking out your air conditioning woes, so give them a call first. We also want to thank the Wyoming-Montana Safety Council, Mondello's Pizzeria, and again, if you really dig on Paisan cuisine like I do, maybe go inside to the La Osteria Mondello. Ooh, some good meals, always prepared by Caesar and Joe and the whole staff over at Mondello's Pizzeria. First Tier Bank, Monday through Friday. Visit Tim and the great staff at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. The key people of Cheyenne, Rachel is the contact person if you want her to come on by, and she'll do the free estimate thing. And then after it's all said and done, send her crew over there to clean it so you don't have to. 414-0074. Lennox Auto Body, 2 repair centers for you. The Auto Glass and Detail Center is right there on Pershing Boulevard. They've been doing that for a long time, and of course, founded by Dick Lennox, and the tradition carried on by his daughter Heather. The main repair center can be found over on Dunn Avenue. Medicap Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs, you'll find Gina's great staff, Bluegrass Circle, right next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank has 2 banking locations, Monday through Friday. Check out the original location on Vanda High and the east side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Kia of Cheyenne. Great weekend to test drive, a fantastic looking Kia, so see them over on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Saturday at the corner of Windmill and Dell Range, right across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, and we also want to thank Taco John's, home of the loaded potato olays. And again, they have many locations here in Cheyenne. Our scoreboard as we get things underway is always brought to you by our good friends over at Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
Baseball action from yesterday with the Cheyenne Post Sixers. They were in action in a doubleheader. Game 1 was against Grand Junction. It was a 9-5 victory. Game 2 against Four Corners. It was a 9-1 victory for Cheyenne Post 6. So they are now 25-7 on the season. Coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, they will be taking on Burnett, Texas. That game will get away again under at least 7 o'clock down there in Pueblo, Colorado. For the Cheyenne Mustangs, they will be in action coming up tomorrow. They will have a doubleheader against Premier West. Game 1 at noon and Game 2 at 2 o'clock. That will be down in Lakewood, Colorado. And on the softball side for the Cheyenne Extreme, they will have a doubleheader coming up tomorrow as well. Early morning action with 8 a.m. being the first game against the Aurora Twisters and Game 2 against the Incy Explosion. Start time around 11:30 a.m. Both games happening down in Aurora, Colorado. And that's what's happening on baseball and softball side for the local teams.
It's been a long week. 5 o'clock can't come fast enough, that's for sure. Major League Baseball. Games that'll be happening when we get off the air. Marlins at the Orioles. Rays will be at the Yankees. Reds and the Pirates at PNC. Nats and the Blue Jays in the Rogers Center. It will be the Twins and the Indians at Progressive Field. Later on, Padres and the Bravos. Rockies will take on the Rangers tonight. They will be in Texas at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Chad Bettis will get the call for Colorado. Detroit's at Chicago to face the White Sox. Phils and the Brewers at Miller Park. Astros and the Royals at Kauffman Stadium. Cubs and the Cardinals at Busch. It will be the Angels and the Athletics in the Oco. Mets and the Diamondbacks at Chase Field. Red Sox and the M's at Safeco. Giants and the Dodgers renewing an old-fashioned rivalry tonight. That'll get underway at 8:10. That's way too late for me. You'll have to watch that. I have to work tomorrow morning.
I got better things to do.
Giants and the Dodgers later tonight from Chavez Ravine. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83? Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Do we have a phone call? Oh, I thought we had a phone call.
How about just reiterate that they should call in, as we've had people trying to call in, but unfortunately, hey, we are doing our top of the hour thing, so
we haven't been able to hook up. So if you want to try, 307-514-1071. We were wrapping up the hour, last hour, and I thought Nick was pointing to go, to the top of the hour, but evidently we missed the phone call. Talking about the Kawhi Leonard situation. And again, it looks like Magic Johnson and the Bus family, the Bus, I think it's the son that runs the ball club, and we do have our phone call coming in. So it looks like the Lakers might be some big players. But let's go to the phone line here and welcome on our guests. And finally, we're hooking up here. Good afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today. How you doing today?
What's up, man? Finally got in. Thank you for letting me get in.
That's all right. We apologize for all the delay there. So go ahead, lay it on us. What you got?
All right. Kawhi. That's the question. Where does he go from here? That's my main question. The Lakers, the Rockets, Sixers. What seems like a good option for him?
Oh, that's a tough one. I honestly, again, what team is established right now would be Houston. What team drove the Golden State Warriors to Game 7 there in the Western Conference Finals? The Houston Rockets. I think for him, probably the best route would be there. Now, if Lakers are to sign LeBron, if they are to make that possible, then LA would probably be your best bet for Kawhi.
I disagree.
All right.
Boston is poised to win right now. With Kyrie there,
Houston is as well.
I agree, but I think that trade with Boston would be the place for him to go.
Is he going through signing or trading? That's the real question.
Well, he would have to be traded because he is in his option year this year. He's a free agent as of July of 2019.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be if he's going to be exited out of San Antonio, he gets traded.
I really don't see him going to the Lakers or the Celtics because they really don't need him. They already have – the Lakers have Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, a bunch of small forwards, and the Celtics have Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown. They don't have space for him, so I don't know why they're bringing up those options. I say the Rockets is the best option around.
And that's probably not a bad idea either, too.
But are the Rockets going to put up the pieces to get Kawhi?
Yeah, they're going to have to give up something.
I mean,
you're going to have to give up somebody top dog.
Would they be willing to take on Ryan Anderson?
No, I know. I think obviously first-round draft pick would be the first thing that they're going to give up, and then also too, it's going to have to be somebody top dog on that ball club.
The question is, would the Rockets be willing to give Chris Paul to Kawhi?
I don't. No. I really don't think so. I think that would be, if you're Rockets, that would not be a smart move to do. Of where again you have that established point guard with him. Again, it's really questionable of what Houston would be willing to put up. Of that would be worth a value to the Houston, at least to the San Antonio Spurs. But again, they're not going to. I don't see him. Paul definitely not. Again, Harden absolutely not. But what would the Spurs want out of Houston that Houston's going to be willing to give up is kind of the big question right now.
I got a good package. I got Eric Gordon. If they could somehow take Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza, 2 first-round picks, and a second-round pick. What do you think about that?
That's about what the package would be. I don't have a problem with that. But again, Kawhi Leonard, who is going to command $40 million plus next year, is going to be a 1-for-5 deal at minimum.
Not happening. I think I'd rather take my chances on Paul George or LeBron.
Yeah, well, what about Kawhi, Paul George, and LeBron all going to the Lakers?
Not happening, because they already have Brandon Ingram, so where does he go?
Probably to OKC or someone who, again, where he unfortunately has to move on to, again, I think the Lakers right now are going to be that aggressive team where, again, these top-level players showed interest of saying, yeah, I want to go out to L.A., including Kawhi. I think the Lakers are going to take a serious listen to every single option and go, absolutely, we want to be back to that Laker style of basketball, that championship organization, compete against the Warriors here in the Pacific. And I think they are going to, again, Ingram, maybe they give up Lonzo, maybe they give up Kuzma, and they say, hey, we want to win, and we want to win now with these guys.
Do they even have the cap space to do all that? Like re-signing Julius Randle and
they got cap space right now, but if they bring in all the big dogs, they're going to be seriously hurting. There's going to have to be some movement somewhere somehow.
That's insane. I think the real need is a center. I think a DeMarcus or Marc Gasol would be good for the Lakers. That's all they really need right now.
All right. Hey, well, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate you getting in touch with us.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. All right. Bye-bye. All right. You know, I like where he's at with all of this, but let's go to the Lakers situation. And again, we don't want to beat this dog down because
I mean it's going to be 24-hour LeBron Kawhi watch right now.
Magic Johnson is not afraid to spend the money.
He's not afraid to be aggressive. Absolutely.
That's right. Look what he did with the Dodgers in that Dodgers situation. Okay. Again, not so much buying the pennant, but here's the deal.
He would buy the pennant. I don't think Magic Johnson would really care.
He wants the championship. Like you said, he wants the championship now. They sat back this year, looked at what they had, all these young guns, made these trades, brought in some other fixtures.
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
a lot of those trades, including Larry Nance Jr. again, went off. These were players that team was building around. Hey, we drafted Larry. We drafted everyone.
So what
we're willing to part.
Now what he's looking at, let's take a look at what's available to us. Okay? So we're hearing Kawhi Leonard's not happy. Well, we got some bodies here we can move as well. Like you said, I'm just throwing Alonzo Ball.
They got a lot of young talent that San Antonio would be very interested in.
Paul George has also made notes that he wants, that LA's on his radar, right?
Yeah.
And LeBron has also said,
again, OKC certainly could take on some of that younger talent and kind of develop that. Again, with the LeBron, and you make that all squared away.
But understand this, though. If that would happen, if this Disneyland tale happens, you bring Kawhi, LeBron, and Paul George to the Lakers, those three combined are at $84 million of salary.
Yeah. But is it a situation where, again, as we kind of put up the formula, the model of what Golden State did, of those players going, yeah, I'll take that pay cut, that sacrifice, is that something where, hey, they got their big three up there in the Bay Area?
You think Kawhi's going to take a pay cut?
He doesn't seem like the player that would. Absolutely
not. Do you think
not.
Paul George will? No.
Maybe to say that he is going to be on a team with LeBron, maybe. LeBron, again, as he's kind of been unselfish on the court, I think he can in the pay, at least with cutting a bit. Again, as he does have all those sponsorship deals, he's making money no matter what. I can see that. Kawhi, absolutely not. Kawhi is kind of coming off right now of, we saw what he did here in the Mountain West with San Diego State again, where he was kind of a questionable player. There were things kind of accused of him, kind of being a locker room, kind of egotistical, but it didn't really read too much into it. But now it's kind of rolling into the NBA where he's kind of on my radar with at least Carmelo Anthony of, do you really want this guy on your team? Also, too, again, with what he's kind of done back, at least in the locker room, but also, too, of this guy's very injury prone. Again, do you take your chance on like a Derrick Rose-esque kind of style player of he has the stints to be great, but he can never be healthy. He's never healthy.
Well, and
can you really take that risk?
I think you and me can both sit here and whether you agree or disagree with us, that's fine. But you look at the Golden State Warriors formula.
Yeah.
They have brought in players, and they have made an effort to keep players that are unselfish.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about winning. It's about winning the ring. And that's why they play as well as they do. And again, just picking out the 5 guys.
Again, it's a team that's about winning championships. It's not worried about getting paid as much as that team is taken care of as much as they can of getting that money to those players. But again, they've made those sacrifices. Draymond has come out and said, yeah, I made that sacrifice on pay to get KD out.
And
I'm willing to do it.
Steph took his first salaries that he had through the Warriors and did not gripe about it. He was making extra money outside.
Yeah.
But he took that $12 million salary until he got paid this season. KD said, hey, it's my turn. Let me step back. So, you look at – and Draymond, if I'm not mistaken, Draymond took a pay cut.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah. Again, he admitted we're, trying to get the KD sweepstakes. Right. He said, yeah, I'll absolutely get that. And I'll take that cut to bring him on out.
You mentioned the other day about Clay. Clay's not going to be a Bogart about salary. Yes,
I don't think so.
He wants a raise, but he's not going to be going like, hey, you got to pay me $40 million.
No, he's not going to hold him at gunpoint of going, hey, I need my money, give it to me now. I don't think. Again, he is a similar style of the rest of that team. I don't care.
Iguodala's happy.
I want championships. I want my legacy to be of a winning player amongst a dynasty, and that's where they're at right now. And I can see that though with LeBron, with Paul, if they are able to lock up this deal and go to LA again. Nothing has happened. We won't know probably for quite some time, but it's a situation where I can minus Kawhi, but I can absolutely see with PG-13 and also too LeBron going to make this work. Yeah. I'll make those sacrifices. Paul George as well. He's making his money. I've seen him on Gatorade ads. He is out there making his endorsement deals.
But here's where I'm at leading with all this here. Again, no matter where these cats go, and they're all good basketball players. It doesn't matter where they end up at.
Yeah.
And you said it best. And even talking with the gentleman there, Houston, they're going to get better. And they gave Golden State all they can handle. So again,
Houston right now, and they might be an interesting party because again, they here's what we had to offer. It was the best, obviously, with Chris Paul being out for the final 2 games. But hey, we took the Warriors to the brink here, Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. Maybe just in case we need something else to bolster it.
Yeah,
is that something where Kawhi comes on by? They go and give up Gordon or Ariza. If I'm Houston, I don't think that's a good deal for you. And again, it's just going off of my opinion with Kawhi. I think he's just very injury prone. I wouldn't take that option with him. I wouldn't exercise of entertaining bringing him on my team because again, you don't know what you're getting.
Would you agree with me that the Warriors at least are loaded up for at least a couple more years? That
they're loaded up for
I would say let's go for at least 2 more years. Would you say that this dynasty is intact?
Yeah.
So again, and if the Warriors stay healthy. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a big question, or at least that's a big issue with this team.
But the bottom line is the East really is not going to stack up against the West right now.
No.
Even a healthy Kyrie in Boston doesn't help out. I think this is another thing that LeBron...
Well, no, with a healthy Kyrie in Boston, it just makes Boston that new Cleveland of it's us and the rest of the East.
And see, the thing is, too, with LeBron, maybe he sees the writing on the wall, too, that the East is behind the West.
Well, we've known that for, nearly a decade now?
I understand that. But, with his 8 consecutive playoff appearances, and he's only got 3 rings to show for it, it's like, well, wait a minute here. I'd be wise to take my talents out West.
Yeah.
And whether he ends up, and I throw this out here, and I throw this out tongue-in-cheek, whether he ends up in Denver, whether he ends up in Los Angeles, whether he ends up at Golden State, whether he ends up in Houston or San Antonio, he's going to be in contention right away to possibly get that 4th ring.
And we're going to get someone on next week to talk about the Denver situation. Earl Boykins, you're out of your mind. 40% chance that LeBron's going to the Nuggets. Don't even kid with fans like that. That's not fair to Nuggets fans of toying, at least dangling that carrot in front of them. That's just unfair. Come on, Boykins, are you crazy? LeBron is never going to go to Denver. And I could cash that. I can make that bet. And, again, I'm very 100% satisfied to say LeBron is not going to the Denver Nuggets. There is no chance in hell that he would ever join that team. Again, he's going to look at major markets. He's going to look at where he can make that opportunity. He's going to go where, hey, franchises are established, are winning franchises. L.A., possibly, again, San Antonio of recent banners. Hey, let me go join that, be a part of that franchise history. Let me contribute to that franchise history and maybe add a few banners there as well. So, again, but next week we'll look to talk about and kind of dispel the Nugget rumor with LeBron. Come on now. Don't tease fans like that. That's cruel.
I mean, when you told me that yesterday, I went, I don't think so. That's just not going to happen.
Earl Boykins, you've been smoking something down there.
And again, too, you're not going to take all this talent from Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland, and bring it and play for the Kroenke family. I don't think so.
I'm going to go play Mile High.
I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with more of Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 K-Ray AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local, too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 K-Ray. According to the latest Rate Watch report, First Year Bank offers the highest annual percentage yield in the Cheyenne market for 12, 18, 24, 36, 48, and 60-month CDs. The friendly staff is ready to answer any questions and help you open or renew your certificate of deposit. Give Carol, Caitlin, or Deb a call today at 307-632-3500. First Tier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 84 and winds out of the north at 10 to 15. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a slight chance of a thunderstorm with lows around 53. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 79. And on Saturday night, it'll continue to be cloudy with the rain showers likely with lows around 51.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Well, Shinnecock Hills in Southampton, New York. Golf course playing a little better today for one, Dustin Johnson. But it looks like the projected cut will be 8 over par in the U.S. Open. Names that are right now not going to be playing tomorrow and Sunday. A, Tiger Woods, who's 10 over.
Wait, hold on. You're saying what about Tiger Woods?
Bubba Watson.
Hold on. What was it?
Let me move on here. Rory McIlroy, 11 over par. Right. Jason Day, plus 12. Ouch.
Again, go back to that Tiger Woods. What about him?
Sergio Garcia, 14 over right now. John Rahm from Spain, 15 over par. Woo-wee.
But again, go back to Tiger. What was that news about him?
10 over par. He will not make the cut.
All right, hold on. I think our friend Tommy Lee Jones has something to say about that. Hold on.
I don't care.
Exactly. That's how I feel about Tiger Woods at this point in time. Who cares at this? He needs to retire.
All right.
No offense to him, but again, as I've been talking about many times on this show, he is not the Tiger Woods of old. He is not winning a major championship ever again. He can win those minors, go right ahead, but in something like this, sorry, we're seeing it again. He is not getting it done.
All right, so looking at the leaderboard right now, Dustin Johnson, 69 yesterday, 67 today, par is 70. The defending champion is Brooks Koepka. 4 under par for Dustin Johnson. He has a 4-stroke lead over Scott Piercy, who is at even par, and Ian Poulter also at even par. The defending champion is 1 over. He carded a 66 today, one of the better rounds. That's 4 under. Ricky Fowler is at +1 right now, so he is still on the golf course. He's 2 under for the day. Let me look at some other notables here before we move on to another segment. Just running down.
Please.
Louis Oosthuizen is 6 over par. Zach Johnson +6 for today. Phil Mickelson he's 1 under for the round. He's got another hole to play. He's at +6, so he will be back for the weekend.
Again, Phil Mickelson, as he's kind of wind down in his career, but still a okay golfer. Again, you compare. I feel like he could win a major before Tiger ever could.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he has that where if all things are firing on all cylinders for him, he can certainly get it done, whether it's Masters, Open, wherever it happens, at least on the major circuit. But am I wrong in thinking that I feel like if you had to go through the future, Phil Mickelson is going to win a major before Tiger Woods is? Is that wrong for me to say at this point in time?
No.
Is that something weird I should be saying?
No.
I don't think so. I really don't. I credit to him, and I would love to know what is really going on with Tiger. Is he 100% that he says, as we learned at the Masters, or is it something where he's hiding something? No. Is he hiding something where it's much more serious that he doesn't want to come
I don't have an answer, and I'm not going to even volunteer one anymore. So anyway, with Mickelson being at 6 over, for example, he's only 10 shots behind, and they still got 2 days to play. Anyway, that is your update from the U.S. Open. Again, Dustin Johnson in the clubhouse, and the leader at -4 with a 3 under par for today. So we got some good golf on tap, where the golf course usually wins at the U.S. Open. You also have the NCAA Men's College World Series, which is at Ameritrade Park in Omaha.
Yeah, they've all made it to Omaha now.
Do I miss the old ballpark? Yeah, I mean, it's
there's
right.
nothing wrong with new.
I know, but
okay, go out to the Bay Area. Would you rather have Candlestick, as much as I love that and got a pleasure to see the old Candlestick, or would you rather have AT&T?
AT&T.
There you go. I think right now for Omaha, I think for that city, I think they're pretty happy with what they have.
I think the Ameritrade Park.
I think the
beautiful.
Storm Chasers out there is pretty happy with this ballpark as well. Again, it's new facilities, new digs. I think fans as well are pretty happy with it. I don't think there's anything to complain about.
Let's take a look at the bracket.
Yes.
Games that will be on tap for tomorrow. We'll have Oregon State taking on North Carolina. Mississippi State will match up with Washington.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
now,
is
that the first appearance for Washington?
The Huskies? I have no idea. I'd have to look that up, but
I don't remember them ever being in the College World Series. So that's the matchups for Saturday. In bracket 2, coming up on Sunday at Ameritrade Park in Omaha, Arkansas will take on perennial favorite Texas. Florida will go up against Texas Tech. So you got 2 Pac-12 teams in there. And let's see, you got 1 Southeast Conference. Texas Tech. Are they in the same conference as Texas? Are they in the
Big 12, yeah.
Okay. So, and Arkansas is another conference. I know they moved out.
How about the SEC?
Mississippi State, SEC.
There you go.
So
you have 3
from the SEC.
Yeah, 2 Pac-12, 1 ACC with North Carolina, and again with the Big 12 representation of Tech and Texas. So again, not too shabby. Certainly going back to your Washington, yes, it is their first berth into the World Series. So congratulations to the Huskies. It's going to be a tall task for them, as the Mississippi State will be the quote-unquote home team at the in Omaha. So your other home teams, at least kind of upper-tier seeds, Oregon State is one, Arkansas is, and also 2, Florida will be your home teams coming up here in the College World Series. Again, games coming up this weekend, few on Saturday, few on Sunday. All games you can see on the ESPN networks.
Right. I don't know. I'm not going to probably watch that this weekend.
And to say a favorite on this one, again, I got to go with the overall favorite right now is probably Florida. I think Florida right now, from what I've been seeing in games that I did catch, Florida is looking to be the favorite, if not Oregon State. So, but, you know, especially in baseball, anything and everything can happen. Maybe one arm does have a pretty rough day and another team takes advantage of that. Who knows at this point? But, again, from what I've been reading is Florida is a clear favorite. They're looking to take down Texas Tech. They are in bracket 2 with Arkansas and Texas. So they're on one side of the bracket. The other side is Oregon State, North Carolina, Mississippi State, and Washington.
You know, it's interesting with these teams here, and I'm going to just throw this out real quick. Oregon's played 60 games to date. North Carolina 61, Mississippi State 64. Washington has played the least, 59 games.
Yeah.
Arkansas 63, Texas 63, Florida 66 games, and Texas Tech 62. What I'm driving at, when we're done with the World Series, when these teams are eliminated or whoever gets to be the national champion, it's interesting because a lot of these young men either move on to rookie ball, move on to their minor league teams.
They could be moving on to college.
Playing summer baseball.
Yeah, they could be playing at the Expedition League for all we know.
I mean, that's a lot of baseball that these guys have been involved in.
I don't think they really care. Again, it's playing baseball.
No. Hey, believe me, I'd be all fired up for that.
If they win a championship, I don't think any of them are going to complain of, like, now I got to go off to the Expedition League or anything. It's like, no, it's
bottom line.
baseball.
They don't get. There's no rest for the weary.
I don't think they care. Again, they want to play baseball. That's what they're doing. Again, that's what they're in school for. That's what they're doing. They're getting it done.
You handed me, and we're going to do one more thing here before we take a break here, and I'm going to let you get into this because I haven't really perused through it yet, and you were talking to me about it earlier today. Real Madrid's Cristiano Ronaldo is agreeing to, 18.8 euro?
Yeah, euro, $21.8 million of equivalent. So
tax payment and a suspended sentence.
Yeah, and back taxes in a tax evasion case with the country of Spain. Also, again, will serve a 2-year suspended sentence. It's an interesting situation. Again, Ronaldo, who is playing for Portugal right now, as I do believe won earlier today against Spain in the World Cup as he competed. But he learned about all of this earlier this morning again, where he's been kind of dodging the Spanish tax authorities for quite some time, and now have at least now pay his due. But it's kind of interesting of, how do it kind of goes in that celebratory kind of situation of he's owing $21 million to a country for back taxes, yet if I owe the country here maybe like 100 or something like that and I forget to pay for it here, I go to jail. I mean, what's going on here?
You saw what I did today. I have to make a monthly payment.
But it's funny as well, too. He gets this all settled down on him. And, again, I know how important to various countries that the World Cup is, especially for him playing for Portugal. But it's just kind of funny where you get the sentencing. He has to pay. He's been dodging taxes for quite some time with the Spanish government. But it's funny. He gets this taken care of today. He learns about this, but then goes on and plays in the World Cup.
Well, a lot of these guys, too, supposedly have accountants that take care of their money, financial advisors.
You would hope so. Again, you should have a lot of, whether it is tax experts on your side, accountants, financial advisors.
If he was running from the Spanish government, then shame on him. But
well, I mean, they considered it was tax evasion, but and eventually he was found guilty of it. And again, will owe $21.8 million, equivalent to 18.8 euros.
You think he can afford it?
I think so.
I'm sure
I do believe so. Again, from let's see, last year I do believe he made nearly $93 million. Yeah. Again, he currently earns an estimated $93 million a year, according to Forbes, with approximately half coming from image right deals with many of his sponsors. So I think he can afford it, but it's just kind of interesting that is it an excuse for him to go, oh, I forgot?
I don't feel bad for him. I'm being really facetious on everything I say right now because it's like this son of a gun. I said, like I said, I had to send. I know what day I got to send my check out. I send out a monthly check. Criminy, how did these guys get away with this? He should be wearing an orange jumpsuit, for gosh sakes.
Well, apparently
he got a suspended sentence.
And apparently, again, also too, Barcelona's Lionel Messi, again, a very big name in soccer. He was handed a 21-month prison sentence back in 2017 on similar charges, but under Spanish law was able to exchange the penalty for a fine. So he did not serve jail time. Again, he just paid out, which again, Messi, along with Ronaldo, has that kind of cash where he can afford it. But back between 2005 and 2010, foreign players in Spain were protected under the so-called Beckham law, where allowing them to curb their taxes. But as the financial crisis bit deeper into Spain, that exemption was lifted, paving the way for the cases that we've seen so far with Messi and Ronaldo. So it's an interesting situation right now where kind of shame on you, Ronaldo, of having that opportunity.
Yeah, you're a crook.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. You're a crook. You didn't pay your taxes, and you're lucky. You should be down on your knees, looking above, thanking the big guy upstairs that you're not going to the Hooskow.
But there's a side of me that also too of maybe he did not understand that law was no longer in effect. That Beckham law there in Spain, maybe he was not aware of that.
Well, the guy's not 10 years old, Nick.
That's true.
I mean.
But I mean, to be fair, if you go across to a country, are you looking up their tax laws and everything like that? But granted, that's where you have advisors. He
gets a paycheck, right?
Specialty.
He gets a paycheck.
Yeah.
And there's taxes, just like what happens in your paycheck. There's taxes taken out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he said, "Oh, okay, I'm all square with the government." Come on, he can't be that stupid.
Especially when you're at least now going to owe him $21.8 million.
Yeah, and they're going to want it all up front, too, and they're going to want it in euros.
As much as a euro is, well, actually, it's doing pretty well. But
it's doing better these days than $21.8 million fine.
Again, drop in a bucket for him. He'll take care of it. But it's just interesting. I figured I'd bring that up because again, he just played in the World Cup as well too for his country of Portugal, where they did beat Spain. So it's in a weird irony that he took out his revenge on Spain, but will now owe that country. But also too, he gets dealt the sentencing and still gets to go play.
Well, here's my first advice to you, Cristiano Ronaldo. Fire your financial advisor, because obviously you're getting the wrong financial advice. We are going to take a timeout. We are going to come back with more of Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
John Mason here for Lincoln Way Liquor. I want to thank Cheyenne for helping us grow during our first year of business. We have over 5,000 new customers in our database in just 13 months. Our customers love our low prices, free ice, 2% credit for future purchases, and some really friendly service. And we always have 16 weekly specials on beer, wine, and liquor. We ask you to compare Lincoln Way Liquor, 2825 East Lincoln Way. We're not the largest, but we might just be the best.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Do you have a big remodeling project in mind? Then the best tool for you is a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank. Whether you are remodeling, making home repairs, or expanding, a home equity line of credit can help you finish that project. Stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Some restrictions may apply, subject to credit approval. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The time is now, and the place to go is Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service for their annual model clearance sale of Jayco RVs and fifth wheels. This is your year to travel the countryside, and what better way with your Jayco RV from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And to put you on the road today, save 30% on their annual model clearance. Their savings are always the best on whatever model you select. Come see and take home your favorite today when you buy from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service at 6102 East Highway 30 in Cheyenne, or go online to jollyrogersrvs.com.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken. Summer's coming, so now's the time to find ways to beat the heat in Marv's Plumbing and Heating. 1515 Logan Avenue is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Good game, boys. You showed some real fight. Like when Wachowski put that hit on our own mascot. Solid work, son. Okay, Friday was for football, but Tuesday is for tacos. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. It's a sacred holiday where we eat tacos repeatedly until I get full.
Save big every Taco Tuesday with crispy beef tacos for just 99 cents.
Get some rest, boys, because come Taco Tuesday, we olay the day.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 84 and winds out of the north at 10 to 15. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a slight chance of a thunderstorm with lows around 53. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 79. And on Saturday night, it'll continue to be cloudy with the rain showers likely with lows around 51.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Another sad note out of 49er land, and again, more where I can relate than Nick can. And you're absolutely right, though. Nick said, this is not old by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Former Golden Gophers and San Francisco 49ers standout Keith Farnhorst died this week at the age of 66. The St. Cloud native played for St. Cloud Tech, then joined the Gophers, where he was an all Big Ten tight end back in 1973. He was drafted by the 49ers in the second round in 1974, moved to tackle. This is one of the things that's unique about Keith Farnhorst. He played all 14 of his NFL football seasons with the San Francisco 49ers, 74 through 87. He was a part of the two Super Bowl teams, Super Bowl 16 against Cincinnati and 19 against who?
Cincinnati, and then no.
Was that Stanford Stadium?
No, hold on.
The opposing quarterback wore number 13. Dan Marino.
Oh, Miami, yeah. I thought Miami was later on, or at least a little bit.
No, that was 19.
Because you had twice against Cincinnati, Miami, Denver, Chargers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he was a two-time All-Pro. Appeared in 193 games, the second most among 49ers offensive linemen, only behind Len Rhodey, and had the 8th most regular season appearances in franchise history. No cause of death was announced. However, the Sacramento Bee reported today.
Well, nothing announced yet. I don't think they're going to. It's probably going to go through processes.
Well, but the Sacramento Bee reported today that Farnhurst battled polycystic kidney disease after he left the 49ers, as well as neurological issues later in his life. He attended Dwight Clark Day at Levi Stadium back in October in a wheelchair. And, oh, by the way, Clark passing away earlier this month, dying from complications of ALS. So, second 49er from that first Super Bowl team.
And again, dying at a relatively young age. Again, 66, at least in this kind of day and age, where you look at a majority, at least of lifespan for majority of humans is
70
again,
plus.
75, 80, 90, even pushing into the hundreds. So again, two players that lost their lives very early.
Remind me of that when I turned 65, that, hey, Dad, you got 5 more years at least. For the second straight year, we'll keep it in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys defensive lineman. So, to me, this is going to be strike 2.
Will it?
David Irving will open the season on the suspended list. So, Irving will miss the first 4 games because of violating the NFL substance abuse policy. Last year, he missed the first 4 games for violating the performance enhancement drug policy.
Yep. So performance enhancing, where this is substance, so that can mean either it's kind of weed, whether it is some illicit drug. Again, they haven't been at least specific about it, but now it's a whole different. So it's not PEDs, but it's still an illegal substance that is not allowed according to the NFL. Here it is, strike 2. Baseball, it's what? Baseball, it's what? 30 days, I do believe, for the first offense, or is it 90? I think it's what, 90 days for the first offense, and then for second first is
150.
Is it?
I think
I thought the second,
like a whole season.
I always thought it was 3 months, and then second offense was like a full season for baseball. But it'll be interesting without knowing, at least with the NFL. It is his second stint, at least second suspension. What are they going to do?
Well, and here, wait a minute. This is not over yet, because it continues a tumultuous offseason for Irving. In April, a former girlfriend accused him of domestic violence and later recanted the story. Frisco, Texas police concluded an investigation and did not press charges, but the National Football League is also looking into this allegation. So, I mean, geez, how dumb do you have to be? Obviously, David Irving, you are dumb times 2 so far.
Yeah. Well, and again, with how just lame this, at least NFL is, especially with a front office and especially Goodell. But is this a situation where he just pays a fine and you're good? Or are they going to say you're going to be suspended for X amount of games, maybe for a full season? Or is it a situation where they lay down the suspension, he fights it and tries the plea bargain, essentially going, no, I'm only going to serve this amount of games, as we saw with Elliott and a few other players last season. Is this really going to be big news at this point for him? Does he really care? Again, is this a situation where the NFL is going to go, just give us about $100,000 and you're good. Go have fun.
Also, too, the Dallas Cowboys, again, starting to prove to be America's team behind bars.
They're taking on the role of the old Raiders.
But again, this is the Dallas Cowboys of the '90s. It was like, how many of them can make bail to play this weekend?
Yeah,
I mean, jeez, I'm telling you, the National Football League. He may be suspended for 4 games, but again, something like you and me doing something like that,
and again, without being specific, we don't know what exactly is on that list or what exactly it was, as they kind of vary between.
All right, let's just for here, Wyoming, just for argument's sake. Guy smoking dope, all right? We get busted smoking dope.
Unfortunately, in this state, yeah.
Yeah, but we get busted smoking dope, we get in trouble, don't we?
Yeah.
And we don't get suspended for 4 games.
unless we talk to the right people.
Yeah, well, that ain't going to happen. So, again.
But no, again, it kind of goes into that, hey, they are a celebrity. They are this millionaire, kind of player and person. And, again, with the NFL of how shaky and how just awful they are at handing down kind of punishment, this is a situation where, again, I kind of look at it and go, are we just going to see a fine and that's about it and just kind of forget about it? Because I guarantee that's what's going to happen is it's going to be a fine. People are going to forget about it. Again, he's not a big name. It's not like Tom Brady getting busted. It is, it's nothing a household, not an average Joe NFL fan is going to know who he is. It's going to be a situation where pay your fine, sweep it under the rug, and go play. Have fun. Am I wrong on thinking of that? Again, we've seen that many a time with the NFL going, well, yeah, just who cares? Just give us money and just do whatever.
The National Hypocrite League. Another football note. Here we go.
What?
In the last 9 seasons, I got to give Denver Broncos some plugs here because the Broncos can put the role of the tight end in their offense in two categories. A, the seasons of healthy Peyton Manning and all the other seasons. So last year,
just being pathetic?
Yeah, and forgetting about the tight end altogether.
What they did to getting Vernon Davis there, part of the Broncos, was just pathetic.
Yeah.
You took what he did with the 49ers, you brought him in, and just let him just
be a blocker.
Yeah.
That's all he was. Well, the
anyway.
Broncos last year, was it Jake Butt is his name? I do believe that's his first name, Jake Butt.
Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention.
Well, no. Anyway,
year.
they drafted him, and the sad part about Butt was he was having a great year with Michigan, and then on the last game of the season, matter of fact, correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe it was during their bowl game that he got hurt. So he He was drafted in the 5th round last year. The Broncos took a chance on him.
Yeah.
Well, he then spent his rookie season on injured reserve due to a torn ACL suffered at Michigan. The only reason a player like the 6'6", 250-pounder, who was one of the most proficient route runners at the position on the draft board, was available in the 5th round was due to that injury.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He's healthy. He's ready to play football.
Is he?
The question is, do the Broncos have anybody who can throw the ball to them?
No.
Thank you.
Well, they think Case Keenum, but in our opinion, no, absolutely not. It's going to be another situation where he's going to probably have to be that extra beef on the line of protecting Case Keenum. Again, it's still a young O-line. It's a situation where Case Keenum is probably going to be running around on that field quite some time this season. I wouldn't doubt it, but is he going to be a viable target for Case Keenum? I don't think so. I think he certainly is a talent, but Case Keenum as a quarterback thrown to him, sorry, I really don't see that happening. It's not like what you'd get with Peyton Manning. So, it might be of similar or at least past years of you're just adding beef to that line essentially, just to give that extra protection.
But you said something that was very, very poignant. And Joe Montana was like this since we were talking about the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Tom Brady. I'll even throw Tom Brady in that mold. They can look off 1, 2, 3 receivers.
Yeah.
And look and find that open guy.
And it takes a very special player to do that. Or at least
a Case Keenum's not going to be able to do that.
No.
Brock Osweiler can't do that.
Clearly.
But again, the tight end position for the Denver Broncos has been a waste. That has also been a very profitable position for the Broncos.
Yeah.
They've always had guys that can, get big plays out of nothing. And again, here's a situation. The guy is 6'6", so he's a big target.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's got good hands. I mean, he caught 97 passes in 2 seasons, 2015, 2016. So it's not like the guy can't catch a cold. But again, you got to get him the football. But a guy like Case Keenum, in my opinion,
but again,
he's not going
to look at him as a viable target. He's going to look at Sanders,
and he's going to look at Thomas.
Yeah.
And then maybe if he's in the pattern, if his number is called, maybe he'll get a football thrown to him. But again, Case Keenum is going to have to be that quarterback that's got to learn, look off, finding the open hot receiver.
He's not going to be that quarterback. There's no way. Again, people think this is the second coming of
It
Peyton
sure as
Manning.
hell ain't going to be Paxton Lynch, that's for sure.
It's going to be no one on that, at least with that quarterback lineup for the Broncos. Again, everyone is anticipating that Case Keenum is this next coming of Peyton Manning. Guess what? He's not. He's nowhere even near that. It's a situation where you're going to have to roll the punches. Again, I give him +1 on the win column for this season. That's about it with this guy. Unless he proves me wrong, and I really doubt it. I highly doubt that Case Keenum is going to be the answer for the Broncos' woes at this point in time. It's going to be.
I'm more as much as I'm a 49er guy, and again I probably will have more interest in watching the 49ers this year just to see them make the Mendoza line, possibly getting into the playoffs. It's going to be a long shot.
I think where the Broncos are very highly touted, highly of expectations.
Defensively, they are. Defensively, the Broncos.
Good, but again, you still need offense to do something about it. Again, we've seen those 49er days back well beforehand where Alex Smith wasn't getting stuff done. They had a great defense with Patrick Willis and a few others there, but it still didn't equate to wins because they weren't scoring points. This is going to be the same situation here with the Broncos. But the situation with Broncos is everyone has high expectations for this team. They have high expectations. They anticipate that you're seeing another Peyton Manning on that field that's going to be that field general to lead the offense. It's not going to happen. Now with the 49ers, though, again, nothing of being a homer. I have my own opinion, but I feel like that's a team where people like you, again, those rumblings of you don't expect much out of that team, but you should expect a lot out of them. I really do. And I think with the draft and the moves that with GM, with Lynch of what he's been doing out there, I think that's a team that you seriously have to take a look at. They're not going to be 500. They're going to be probably a viable force in the NFC, and they're going to probably be a very talked about team coming up in the NFL season.
Well, again, we got some.
You cannot deny Jimmy G.
I'm not, and he's still undefeated, so he still hasn't lost yet. Again, summer camp's getting underway here in about a month from now, so just starting to get some talk heated up again. I hope Jake Butt revives the tight end position for the Denver Broncos. Unfortunately, they got to get somebody there to throw it to them. All right, we are going to wrap things up, but before we wrap things up, we always check in on our one segment. It is what happened on this date in history.
Yeah, it is June 15th. You were the one. I was making fun of you. Anyways, June 15th, we go back to the year 1951. This person did this in his last appearance. This boxer did this in his final appearance back in 1951.
1951.
June 15th, 1951. This boxer did this final.
The Brown Bomber Joe Louis won.
Okay. You're on the right track. How did he win?
Won by knockout.
All right. So back in June 15th, 1951, Joe Louis scored his final knockout victory against who? Scored against who in what venue?
I don't know. I would be in Madison Square Garden.
You're right on Madison Square Garden, but it was against Lee Savold.
Oh yeah, I would have known that one. At least I got Joe Louis right, and I got the venue right.
Yeah,
the Mecca.
Again, Joe Louis scores his final knockout victory, which led to him, at least at that point in time, as he did have a few other fights afterwards, but it was his last ever knockout, which put him at 64-2. Back on this date in 1951, again, a phenomenal boxer, Joe Louis. Who did he lose to in his final fight?
Would it be The Rock?
There you go.
Rocky Marciano.
Anyway.
Lost to a Paisan. No shame in losing to a Paisan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, hey, we got to wrap things up. You have a wonderful weekend. Happy Father's Day to all pops out there. Again, we will be back at it Monday from 3 until 5. The best of the 50s and 60s.